The Vancouver Canucks have named defenseman Quinn Hughes as their team captain. Scott Regehr was just talking about it. The 23-year-old is the first defenseman to hold the captaincy since 1991, and general manager Patrick Irvine made the announcement yesterday, putting to an end months of speculation following the departure of former captain Bo Horvat back in January. And so, who is Quinn Hughes? What do we need to know about him? And for that, we have reached Canucks Army writer Lachlan Irvine is with us this morning. Good morning to you, Lachlan.
Good morning, Stephen. Thanks for having me.
Oh, thanks for taking the time with us. What's been the reaction from Canucks fans following that news?
I believe it's been mostly positive. There's been a few different captain candidates have been out there circling around. Obviously, Elias Patterson being one of the big ones, as well as Hughes and JT Miller as well. And Quinn Hughes is, I would say, considered the best choice by most people. It's pretty clear that he fits all the qualifications of a captain. He might be a little bit on the younger side, but clearly he leads with a quiet sort of leadership, and it works quite well for the Canucks, I believe, right now.
And what are your thoughts on how the team decided to make the announcement?
Well, I think that going back to the last two captaincies where they did it with all this, kind of this celebration of out on the ice and everything, that obviously was overshadowed a little bit in the last little while by the team's overall results on the ice. And I think doing it in this more quiet way, in a press conference, maybe a couple weeks before training camp, I think that was inevitably the right decision for them. I think trying to build up to that going into the regular season would have led to too many questions during the preseason.
You talk about Quinn Hughes' kind of, quiet determination or quiet leadership. What else makes him captain material, considering, he is only 23 years old and there are much more experienced players on the team?
Right. Well, there is the fact that he is just clearly one of the two best players on the team. I mean, Hughes is far and away the best defenseman the Canucks have had, even at his age. He already holds the two highest scoring record seasons by a defenseman in franchise history, and he's clearly very well liked in the locker room. And you kind of need a captain who has the ear of everybody, whether or not they're particularly vocal. And Hughes himself said so, that he's not particularly going to be the loudest guy when it comes to motivating the team, but in a way that's kind of what you want, is a guy who's going to talk when it's needed, more so than just being loud for the sake of loud.
Right. And how much did this have to do with the fact that he's got a relatively long-term contract?
I mean, I would be lying if I said that wasn't a big factor. I mean, Elias Patterson obviously was somebody that could have been a captain. Patrick Irvine mentioned it as much yesterday, but the fact of the matter is he does not have a contract past this season. So with Quinn Hughes being here long term, and you already knowing that, you kind of want to pick a captain who you know you have in it for the long haul, because you don't want to be making this announcement over and over and over again. You want to have a little bit of stability on that front.
And what are we expecting from the Canucks this year?
I think they're going to be definitely in the mix for the playoffs. I think they're in a bit of a tough division, obviously, with the defending Stanley Cup champion Golden Knights. They've got the Edmonton Oilers, who are always in the mix with Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl. Calgary's always competitive. Seattle, LA. There's a lot of teams that are going to be in the mix for the playoff spots, and the way that the current playoff system works, the Canucks are going to have to, at the very least, beat out at least three of their division rivals to get there, as well as a few teams in the Central Division. I think they're going to be in the wild card mix for sure.
Lachlan, good to hear you this morning. Thank you for taking the time with us. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
All right, you take care. Bye-bye.